Good afternoon, Skip Breakfast Club and my YouTube audience. Imagine that you are taking a midterm that you spent weeks studying for. Then you feel this searing pain in your head and you cannot remember your teacher's name. This is what happened to me in my high school calculus class and is clinically known as a migraine, a neurological disease. This debilitating event completely derails your conscious mind and can leave you practically helpless. In my case, my vision blurs before the excruciating pain of the migraine begins. Therefore, I can tell a migraine is coming on before it hits, which makes me feel even more helpless. I'm fortunate that I was allowed to wait out my migraine in high school. But life does not simply stop for a migraine. We like to think that we control our own fate, and this is true to a certain degree. However, migraines are a very sobering reality that our own genetics and tons of other factors beyond our control shape our own fate as much as our actions. That being said, I am a firm believer in the mantra of preparing for life's obstacles to the best of our ability. Instead of just accepting that headaches or migraines happen, we can be ready for when they do strike. Additionally, we can have strength that defies the truth of a searing pain and finds the will to achieve regardless of the size of the obstacles that obstruct our path. Even if that obstacle is blocking our own memory, we achieve this strength through preparation, researching migraines or whatever obstacles stand in our way, and finding solutions around these hindrances is key. I will thoroughly explain what a migraine is, how we can combat headaches or migraines, and how to apply this method of preparation to other areas of your life. Before we get to solutions of a migraine, though, we must define it. A migraine is a neurological disease that is brought on by genetic, environmental, and lifestyle factors. Although a direct correlation between genes and migraines has not been identified yet, there are strong associations between variations in genes and migraines. This means that people with slightly different sequences of DNA that construct their brain have a greater chance to have migraines. We tend not to think about how our brains are wired, which is key to figuring out how a migraine works. We need to think about how stimuli, like light, can evoke a set of reactions that cause a migraine to occur. In the brain of someone with a migraine, nerves will misfire in response to stimuli, causing a decreased rate of blood flow to be sent to the brain. This is what a migraine is. It is a misfiring of the brain in which the brain does not get enough blood. For those unaware, the brain uses 20% of the blood and oxygen taken in by our body, or taken in or produced by our body. The deprivation of blood from the brain is the pain behind a migraine or headache. It is also a sensitivity of our genes. I think Dr. Kawan describes it best. It would also be remiss not to discuss the other types of migraines. Ocular migraines are a condition where the blood vessels located in the optic nerve constrict and dilate, resulting in visual distortions. This image accurately displays how people with ocular migraines see. They see an aura, basically a distortion or loss of sight in one or both eyes. I like to have the analogy of multiple people waving their hands in front of your face. Can you see? Yeah. Can you see barely? With multiple, I mean like upwards of 8. Can you see barely? But you can't really make sense of your surroundings. If an ocular migraine strikes someone who is operating a vehicle or heavy machinery, they should instantly stop or get to a place where they can safely let the migraine pass. These migraines could be deadly since the person affected by them cannot see or their sight is greatly impaired. Do not take ocular migraines lightly, as I've almost gotten in a wreck thinking I was fine when an ocular migraine occurred when I was driving. Migraines can be triggered by visual stimuli, foods, light sensitivity, changes in temperature surroundings, changes in sleep or diet, caffeine, and stress. With so many trigger factors, one might wonder how to combat migraines. The best preparation is often mental. With a mindset of mental fortitude, You will think that you will overcome this. You will not be constrained by a series of nerves inside of you. Since we have discussed the mental preparation, we can now move on to how to treat migraines. One is not powerless to migraines or headaches. There are a plethora of options to stop them or reduce them. I will dissect 3 common remedies. One potent option is to take medication when one experiences the early stages of a migraine or headache. Some of these medicines are Advil, Motrin, or Excedrin. The sooner one reacts to a migraine, the lesser the symptoms or pain will be. Acting quickly can be the difference between a 3-hour migraine and a 72-hour migraine. Another method to stop migraines is by identifying your trigger foods or your symptoms. For instance, cheese is a big trigger food in most people, so eliminating or minimizing this in one's diet is essential to reducing migraines. Another common symptom is light exposure. Wearing glasses and being very conscious about one's contact with light would reduce migraines. The above remedies are helpful, but perhaps the most noticeable treatment is seeing a chiropractor. Chiropractors have extensive medical experience and are trained to relieve tension within your body. A lot of the stimuli that cause migraines are tension within the body and can be released by a chiropractor. For instance, one major trigger is having a lot of tension built up within your masseter muscle. You can feel this muscle by biting down. You'll feel 2 protrusions on the side of your face. This is the masseter muscle, and all you have to do, if it's tight, is relieve that tension by massaging it. And now that I've passed this knowledge on to you, you too can relieve tension-based headaches or migraines. With these 3 methods, I've went from having migraines that lasted from well over 12 hours to lasted 3 hours at most. I find the knowledge that one tried, even if none of these methods work for you, I find the knowledge that one tried and gave it their all to be the most comforting of truths. Many of life's hurdles are simply too high to overcome. And it is at these times that attempting the hurdle or finding our own unique path around the hurdle is what matters the most. Dealing with migraines has made me stronger, and I will share lessons that we can all learn from hardship. As previously mentioned, living with migraines taught me how to deal with adversity. I quickly learned that having a positive mindset during a migraine would do wonders for me. Although we are creatures of mood, we can consciously let negative thoughts pass and embrace some more positive thoughts. For example, if I were to let a negative mood or emotion consume me when a migraine occurs, this would make the migraine experience exponentially worse. However, the situation would be drastically better with a different mindset. If I just accept that this is part of my biological nature and ease into the migraine with relaxing music or with an audiobook, I'd be making the best of what I was given. I see this as a truth of life, making the best of what you have and enjoying your time on this earth. Because we have too short of a time to let our days be consumed by moods. Another truth of life is accepting your helplessness and the things you cannot control. You will drive yourself mad, expanding energy at events like migraines that are beyond your control. Learn to let go of your control in these areas and admire the brilliance of life and accept the ugly realities that come with it. But balancing this with a mindset that also acts on things that you can control is imperative. Migraines have drastically changed my life in many ways, but it is undeniable that I have become more prepared because of them. Migraines are a neurological disease that force the patient to prepare for the ensuing storm they will bring. You can minimize headaches or migraines with visits to the chiropractor, monitoring your diet or sleep schedule, and catching the headache in its early stages. Whether or not you have migraines, you can make the most of what you have and not worry about the things that you cannot control. Thank you for your time.